rang and this big silver box turned up, and I have a feeling it's actually my Aoocci. So I'm going to open that up and see how it goes. Yep, it's my Aoocci C6 Pro has arrived. Alright, I'm going to open that up and fit it and give it a run, and I'll let you know how it actually performs. So, Spyder, and on the Aoocci, we've got the new Spyder 6.7 logo. I'll leave a link down below on how to do that. Well, good morning. I'm about to head on out and test myself the Aoocci C6 Pro. Already I've found a couple of things with it, which I'll go through as I ride along, but yeah, that's it there. I've got it temporarily mounted on the dash. You think, oh yeah, you can't see the rest of the dash. No, that's probably what I see there, more likely. It's just that I've got it mounted over there, so it's temp. Everything's wired in, hardwired as it would be normally, and it took me about 2 hours to wire it up. So let's see how it works and test a few things, including some phone calls and messages and all sorts of stuff, and have a nice ride at the same time. That's the most important thing. Alrighty, so we're away, and I started off and I put the nav on for track, so I could see how it's tracked. That's what I want it for. I want to see whether it follows a route, not just an A to B, but a route, so a couple of different points. And I thought, oh, I'll test out the rear view camera as well, so I chucked the rear view camera on, and when I brought it back up, a mate's message was there and it read it out to me, which was fantastic. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then once I finished playing with the mate's message, the screen has gone black and white. And I did the old, turn the bike off, let it reset, and turn it back on, and it's still black and white. I'll see if I can get that down under there to show you. The screen, hopefully. Maybe not picking it up, but it's black and white, which is not great. That's what we're getting. So we've got a black and white screen. So we're back to the 1960s there. Probably maybe 1970s. When did colour telly come in Australia? It must have been the 70s. But anyway, it's a black and white screen at the moment, so she's all monochrome. But yeah, we'll see how it fares from here. It's giving me directions as I'm speaking to the camera here, so it's navigating well. That's using my route app, so I'm trying my route app as well, because a few of us are using that to construct our maps and our routes and routes, and we're going to see if that works as well. So I'll let you know how that one goes down the track, because that's what I want to test on some more difficult routes, more multi-points, and then try transferring that over to the Garmin. I think the Garmin is the best navigation device when it comes to navigating. It's been the most reliable one. But yeah, we'll see how we go. See how we go with this. But it's a beautiful day. Expected top of about 27 in Toowoomba, which is beautiful for summer. Actually, no, 29 today, top today. Which is, yeah, not too bad. But it'll be a bit warmer later on coming back home from where I'm going. I'm going out to Crow's Nest, to my little Blueberry, to catch up with a mate. Hopefully it's not too busy. I know it will be, because it's also first day of summer school holidays here in Queensland. So there's likely to be people everywhere who are heading off for their summer break, or just heading away for the weekend, because it's nice weather. Alrighty, we'll see how we go with this thing. The other thing we've also got on this Aoocci is we have the cameras. We have front and rear dash cam. So we're going to see how that goes and see if it works okay. It should do. It's supposed to be pretty good. So we'll test the dash cams out, and I'll see if this bit of footage comes up, and just have a look at what the qualities of that are, because I pulled up behind a car back there, so hopefully I've got his details. I'll blank out his number plate, of course, but it's more to see whether I got it. Got cameras attached, which is a bit of a bonus. It's also got TPMS, the tyre pressure monitoring system, but the tyre pressure monitoring system is not for me for two reasons. One is they only give you two of the bloody things, and I've got three wheels, and the other one, and it only does a front and a rear. When you set up, you can't add a third into your system on the screen. And the other part of it is that, I'd say, oh, well, I'll put them on the fronts, I know what my fronts are doing, or I'll put one on the back and one on one of the fronts or something like that, or even one on the back. But the trouble is that they're a bugger to get on and off, because you've got to lock nut them on. They don't just screw on and stay on, which means that every time that you want to add a bit of air, because you do add a bit of air now and again into the tyres, because they do lose a little bit. Every time you do that, you've got to get down, get locked it off, and I thought, I don't need that. So got rid of the TPMS, so I can visually check whether they're down or not each time I stop. I can certainly feel it. And it's not as critical as a two-wheeler. If you're on a two-wheeler and all of a sudden you've lost pressure and you're losing pressure fast, and you don't want to be cornering, a bit different on the three. You'll feel it in a straight line, let alone on a bend. So as much as it'd be nice, turn that off. I'll put a link down below to this guy's video that I watched called The Stammering Biker. He's got a bit of a speech impediment, hence the stammering biker, but I tell you, it's the best tutorial I've seen on my route app. It really does give you, it's how to construct routes. It's really, really good. It's common language, just the facts, just the basics. None of the fancy stuff. Just here's that thing down. It's done fairly quickly. Like some of the ones from the actual owners and instructors of my route app, they're an hour long and very complex, and I'm sure that they're excited about and all that, but it's very difficult to follow. But this guy's put it into simple English, so I'll stick that down the bottom and have a look at that one later. Okay, so I've deliberately gone up a road which wasn't on the original route, and the reason I did that was to try and see whether it would ask me questions about my route and whether I wanted to go different, or would it change it, would it reroute me, and it appears that it has, but it's also, I noted that the little town that I was going to go to in between, it's telling me I've got to go up to it in 1.1 kilometres. So this will be the bit where I'm going to go and try and avoid it, even though it's a go via point, and see what it does, see whether the actual navigation unit says to me, oi mate, you need to go over there. That will soon find out. And then once I go on with the coffee, I'll test the phone function with a mate who I know will answer his phone, because he'll have a chat with me. Oh gosh, I think got nothing coming. That's a shocking corner that I don't like it, but I thought I'll go through that one. Okay, so it's telling me that I really should be turning in 300 metres, and I'm going, no thanks mate, I don't really want to. I don't particularly want to do that, so I'm going to go right here. But I know it's a beautiful road, but scenic road, not beautiful road, but scenic road. But I'll see whether it reroutes me. What this is. Always stupid, turn around. No, it's rerouted me. So keep going. So far the glove's been okay on the screen on the Aoocci, but I am using a glove which has it's a 5 glove, F-I-V-E brand, not the number but the spelling, and it's got a little tapper thing in it for your phones and all that sort of thing, so I'll get the proper name later and throw it up there, but it's got one of those in it, so it might work a bit better, but I'll chuck a different glove on the way home. Strangely enough, it's one of the new Can-Am gloves that I got last week, and we'll see how it goes, because I know they've got none in it, so it'll be the one that'll go, yeah, got to have a glove with a thing. You probably would have noticed when I took the photos and pictures earlier there of the unit, I've got a little stylus and a little pull-out cord, retractable cord, attached to it, just like people have on their ID lanyards at work. I've got one of those sitting on there, and that is on there so that I can play with the Aoocci should I so desire. I've also got one on the down the middle of the bars that I use on the GPS at times too, when the gloves are, especially in winter, and I've got the thick gloves on, and rather than hitting 6 different things on the screen at once, you can pinpoint what you need. Thanks, matey. Gee, that was good timing. Right, a little bit, I can just zip into the left. But the Aoocci's performing better than what I thought it would. I thought it'd be a bit slow and clunky. I must admit, I did test another brand, which if you go back and watch the videos, you'll find I don't want to mention it. I sold it off to somebody at a very reduced price. It worked well. It was just, it just wasn't what I wanted or needed, so I got rid of it. But I tested it for a few people, so that when my mates come to use them, they go, "Oh, how do we go with that brand? How do we go with that brand?" You know, I can do that sort of thing for them and test them and record it and do those sorts of things. So that's what I did with that. So I can now give people advice and go, yeah, it's cheap, but these are things that you're going to encounter. It works okay. It's not perfect. Just be aware that nothing's perfect, but these are the pitfalls of this thing. But these are the good things. And the Aoocci's the same. Is that it's not perfect. It'll have its downfalls. One of them is that it takes a long time to run up. It really does. It shouldn't take that long, but it does. And I get it. It's doing all its tests and checks and things it's got to do. And I have a feeling that downloading the content for downloading the content from the camera is going to prove a little bit difficult as well. I know getting into where the SD card is, you just can't take that SD card out. Once it's in there, it's in there. Alrighty, let's test this thing out. Woo! Alright, you can see I'm going to reach forward a long way here, so don't panic if I do. Different set of gloves, ones without the push thing on them, so you can see that it doesn't work real well with a standard old set of gloves. And even using the probe thing, it's a very quick, you don't want to quick it, doesn't like when you push on it and hold on it. Alright, we're about to try ringing someone. See whether this works. Using my faves. Righty mate, we go, there we are. Hey mate, how are you?
I'll try some of your YouTube and a few things of your footage.
Which what were you after?
Oh, just some more pickies of the dash cam going, that was all.
Oh, the one I just gave you? Yeah, I don't tend to use the footage much because I've got a lot of the 3D stuff. Hey, heads up for you. You're just on my camera at the moment. I'm just testing the Aoocci, so I'm talking to you with the Aoocci or Aoocci, but I'll call it the Aoocci connected. So it's working pretty well. But it kept going into black and white mode. But I think that may have been something on my phone, because I noticed when I was sitting down, I've been sitting there for about the last hour having coffee with a mate, actually over an hour, about an hour and a half, and I noticed that it was on, the phone was on sleep mode, so I don't know whether that's the Aoocci or the Aoocci doing that, or whether it's the phone itself, so I'll figure that out. Yeah. Going through that back street again where I was last time when I was talking to you. This beautiful old house there on the right hand side's magic. It's fairly warm sitting out there in the sun. Because when I first sat down I was in the shade, but I ended up getting the sun, and jeans I got on. I said to my mate, I said, I think I've worn the wrong jeans. These are summerish ones, and they're a little bit warm. I think yeah, but just the processor of it is better. I like the 6-inch. The 7-inch I think is too big. I really do think the 7-inch is too big, and the aspect ratio of the 7-inch is closer to a square than what this is. But this is a nice picture. I can read everything on it. Everything seems to work. You know, the music played. I got messages. It read the messages to me. It did all that stuff that it needed to do. So yeah, it was pretty good. But I just want to find out whether it was because I'm getting along here. I've still got my colours on my screen, so I know it's not the phone and the Aoocci talking to each other that put it into sleep mode. I've just got to find out whether I had my phone somehow on sleep mode, or whether the navigation put it into sleep mode. Okay, so I've had this Aoocci C6 Pro on for a while now, and I'm finding it quite good. We'll start with the bad things I don't like about it. It does take ages to run up, and when I say ages, good 30 to 40 seconds from when you turn your Spyder on, and that's on with the accessories. So when your live power hits, so that if you've got it wired in so that it doesn't start until your engine does, it'll be 40 seconds after you turn your engine on. So it takes a while for it to run up. It's clear. Once it's up and running, I think it's not as laggy as some. Fingerprints are not great to do it, so I tend to set and forget. So, but if you do ask someone who wants to play with it fairly often, no, not that it's a little bit funny, but I just put velcroed a little stylus onto it, and that seems to work pretty well. The control, which is a wired-in control, is definitely worthwhile connecting up. I don't have TPMS connected up because I don't use TPMS, and I realised it was going to be a bit of a mess around, that you would have had to have adjusted your locking nut every time that you wanted to do tyre pressures. So it looks like we've got oversized. I'm assuming that that's behind us. I'll get the heck out of the way of this thing. Yeah, so that was the big down points on it that I don't like about it. All right, so here is the other downside. I'm downloading some files that I got from the trip today, because there's a couple of interesting things, like a snake and a kangaroo that I saw, and they take ages. You can't just grab the bottom of the device and grab out the SD card, because it's a big job to do that. A lot of videos have covered it, so I won't cover it. But yeah, getting stuff out of it and onto your phone, and therefore downloading it off the phone afterwards, takes ages. That's a down point. The things that I do like about it, I'll compare it to what I've previously used, which was I tested a Carpi ride, One of the things I like is, as I said, it's not as laggy. It works really well. It functions once it does run up. It functions quicker, and it hasn't dropped out on me yet. I haven't had any dropout issues. I had a bit of a thing the other day where it was going into sleep mode, but that was not the Aoocci. That was actually my phone. Somehow, the phone was in my pocket. It must have pressed some bits, and it was put into sleep mode, and that's why it was going into grey. It hasn't gone grey today. I do like the aspect ratio of it as a 6-inch compared to the 7-inch Carpi rod, but that's just me. Colours are good. It's bright enough. Certainly is bright enough. I think if you had any brighter than that, I haven't used it at night, and I don't do much night riding, so I probably won't test it at night. But during the day, it's bright enough that I can see it. If I was to keep it on, I'm not sure if I will yet, but I would try and get it closer to me up onto the handlebars rather than down where I've put it. I only put it there at the moment just simply because I just don't have enough space on the bars with the camera mounted and my water bottle, and still carrying the Garmin XT2. Navigation wise, I was using my route app both to construct the maps but also to navigate with, and I found that really good for setting up multi-point rides, which I do a lot of. A to B stuff, I'd probably use something like a Waze or a Google Maps, and they tend to work pretty well with it. But I found my route app to do multi-point rides worked really well. I was really happy with that, so thank you to Andrew and Reg for putting me onto that. So all up, my opinion of the Aoocci C6 Pro, I would buy it above the Carpi rod. I would buy it before I bought that, simply because of the aspect ratio and for the price I paid for it, which was under 300 Australian dollars. It also came with 1080p cameras, which give out a reasonable bit of footage, which I'll post some of that up as well, probably earlier in the video that it was there. Alright, well that's me and the Aoocci. Couple of coffee rides with it. Great coffee ride today. I hadn't been with the guys locally, like a bigger group, for a long time. Done a couple of rides with just myself and one other guy, but big group today. Lovely to meet Arthur, brand new to Spyders, fantastic guy. He's fairly young. He said he was 80, 80-ish. I think he was over 80. He had the Spyder. Good on you, Arthur. That's fantastic, mate. But yeah, really enjoying the nice weather at the moment.